Y'all, I picked a bad time to start fasting. You know what today is? It's 3/14, 3.14, otherwise known as Pi Day. Pie, pizza. Doesn't really matter what kind it is. It's wicked tasty, and I'm missing out. My husband's job, they give them pizza and pie to celebrate Pi Day. And really, it's just an excuse because you can eat pizza or pie any day. But it's like an entire day just devoted to giving you the go ahead to eat pizza and pie. Today is day 4. It was hard last night. I was starting to feel hungry. I was getting cranky. The kids would not go to bed. My youngest is like, takes his clothes off and runs around. I'm naked. He starts running around the living room and the kitchen. I'm running around naked, which is kind of cute. And you know what? It's exercise. So, but after 20 minutes, I was like, all right, let's go brush teeth. Let's do the thing. And it was a chore yesterday. So, finally, my husband was still upstairs and I was just like, night, guys, I'm going to bed. And I let him finish putting them to bed because I just couldn't take it. And then when I got to bed, I went downstairs and got into bed. It was like 8:35. So I was ready for the day to be over. But we watched a movie, went to bed finally like around 11, I think is what it was. Had crap sleep. I woke up a couple times, most notably at 4 in the morning. I went and used the bathroom. Couldn't fall back asleep. So I was just chilling in bed, looking at my phone for an hour, maybe a little bit longer. Finally, I was able to fall asleep again. Then I slept into almost 7, I think. So and that's what happens, a lot of times when you're fasting, you don't get great sleep. From what I've read, it has something to do with the whole hunter-gatherer thing. Like, it gives you more adrenaline and more energy so you can go out and hunt that beast or find those berries. Doesn't really help us in today's economy, this kind of life that we live. I went to the store today because we were out of milk and the kids like it. So I went there. That bakery section, holy heck, smelled great. And then my youngest, he's been talking about muffins all day today. Like, he wants to make muffins. And I love to bake, but not when I'm fasting because then I get all irritated that I just made this delicious food and I can't eat it. So instead, there was like a bunch of muffins there, like little 4-packs. So I told them, all right, go, which one do you want? There's banana nut, there's lemon poppy seed. I didn't tell him about the cinnamon chip. I bet that would have smelled amazing, but he's got issues with cinnamon. So he chose lemon poppy seed, and they have like this really huge granuled sugar that's like sprinkled on top. So we get it home and he's like, muffin. So I cut it up and give it to him. And he takes like a bite and he's like, oh, my tummy hurts. I full. That's his go-to whenever he just doesn't want to eat. My tummy hurts. So, and I smelled that muffin when I cut it. Lemon. It was like this tangy, lemony scent. And poppy seed is pretty delicious on its own anyway. Oh, man. I was so envious and irritated that he got to eat it and then didn't want to eat it. And I sat down on the couch and I noticed that I had an errant grain of sugar on my thumb. So I went to lick it off before I realized what I was doing. And I was like, oh, like it was, Satan, and threw it on the ground. But it's kind of silly. But man, I'm telling you, no food at all. I did start drinking electrolyte water today. Because like I said, last night was no fun. This morning when I woke up, I was quite hungry in bed. And I just figured, well, maybe some kind of electrolytes will help. And it has. It's about 3 o'clock right now in the afternoon, and it hasn't really been too bad. I want to eat, and hearing and seeing, Facebook posts, what people are getting for Pi Day, that makes it a little difficult. But I weighed myself today. I was at 261, so that's a 2-pound decrease. And 8-pound overall, I think is what it is. I think that's what it is. And today at 7:30 will be 4 days in its entirety. So 8 pounds. 269 to 261. Yeah. So that's really good in 4 days. I mean, I'll take it. I would have liked to have it the 3 pound that I've been enjoying the last couple days, but beggars, choosers, you know. There's been a number of people talking about refeeding syndrome, and that's where your body is like malnourished, generally from fasting, or just anorexia or eating disorders. There's a lot of reasons why a body could be malnourished, but when you start to eat again, your body, the way it takes in the nutrients, or if you're eating carbohydrates, you have a spike of insulin. It causes your body to start holding on to salt a lot more, because when you're fasting, your body is just like flushing water and salt out, but when you start eating again, it starts to retain it. So a lot of people complain of edema, and that's when your skin swells. It's like it holds on to water and you get all poofy from it. I have experienced that in the past. 2 times ago, when I did a 5-day fast, I broke it by eating Chick-fil-A. I was going to go to a 7-day, but then I was just hungry and we were passing by and I was like, pull in. So anyway, not ideal to break your fast with chicken nuggets and waffle fries from Chick-fil-A, delicious though they are. Anyway, so I've been trying to think of how I'm going to break this fast. And some of the groups that I'm on, there's these people saying, oh, you're going to want to break it with fruit and don't break it with fats and this, that, and the other. That makes no sense to me, because if the whole issue basically comes up because your body is starting to produce and release insulin again, so it's just trying to grab onto everything, I don't understand why you'd want to introduce a carbohydrate straight off. Like a lot of people say, oh, just eat some watermelon because it's got a lot of water content, it's not overly sweet, it's got some fiber in it and can get your body going again. Why wouldn't you just like drink some bone broth to begin with, or have like a scrambled egg and butter or bacon fat or something, and then just kind of play it by ear? That makes the most sense to me. But there's not a whole heck of a lot of research or information that I've been able to find on what the perfect way to introduce foods back into it is. It seems like it's kind of a crapshoot. Someone on the forums were saying that they started with bone broth and then they just started immediately swelling, like their feet were super painful and they couldn't put them in shoes one day. And if they didn't really have any carbohydrate, I don't understand why that would have been such a problem. But yeah, that's going to be my plan, to start out easy with maybe some bone broth. I do this really simple, it's almost like an egg drop soup. It's kind of what I think of it, but it's just chicken stock, usually homemade. If I don't have any, then store-bought works in a pinch. But it's chicken stock, and then I'm all showing you guys my bras in the background. Sorry about that. Chicken stock, and then you scramble, I guess, in a bowl like an egg. And then you just, once you get the stock swirling, you pour the egg in, and it kind of swirls around too, and then it cooks in the heat while it's swirling. That's probably going to be what I do. I freaking love that. Even when I'm not like fasting or eating keto, it's just a good meal. But I also like to dice up mushrooms and throw those in there as well, and maybe some spring onions at the top to garnish it. It's a very simple meal, but depending on how you do it, it can be very filling. So my little tip to you. Other than that, today really hasn't been bad. I haven't really experienced any moments of weakness. My mouth tastes like a hot mess. That's always the fun part of fasting. But I'm slightly hungry, but it's always a mental game, because I know I could drink some water if I really needed to, and I probably should in a little bit to get more of those sodium and magnesium electrolyte supplements into me. But I can beat the hunger with liquids for the most part. So it's just mental. It's just trying to tell myself, you don't need this, or that food will be there when you're done. That's the other thing. It's not like chicken wings are suddenly going to go out and there's going to be like this huge nation run on chicken wings and I'm not going to be able to find them. I have some in the freezer. So even if that were the case, I could still get my fix after I come out of this fast. But it's almost like I feel that way. Like I feel I'm never going to be able to eat this kind of food again, so I should just eat it right now while I can. And it's not, the weird thing is, it's not like I had starving childhood or that I was ever denied food or anything like that. So I don't really know where this fear of missing out, if you will, of food comes from, because I've never been, there's a word, not food deprived, but food insecure. I've never been food insecure. I always know where my meals are coming from, even as a child. So I think it's just, I know what the food tastes like. It tastes great and I want it. There I go, showing you my brows again. I gotta figure out a better way, a better system to film these. But as it is, you can see my lovely arm holding up my phone. That's kind of fun, right? All right, so yeah, nothing new really. Yesterday evening sucked. This morning was not ideal, but as the day went on, it's kind of par for the course. There's nothing crazy going on here, just day after day. Fingers crossed that tomorrow and the 6th day and the 7th day will go as smoothly, because if it can go like this and I don't just give in because something sounds or smells amazing. By the way, I just reheated some bacon for my youngest and gave him some applesauce. It's such a simple meal. That bacon smelled delicious coming out of the microwave. Oh, my sister doesn't have a great sense of smell, and at times I envy that.
Mommy?
So, yeah, I will check back in tomorrow when it is day 5. Give you guys an update. I'm sure there'll be a couple more pounds lost, which is exciting. Keep your fingers crossed for 3 pounds instead of 2. If it is 2, I will take it. And I've heard of some people actually going up during a fast. No idea how that happens, but fingers crossed that's not me. See you tomorrow.